I'm Jonah Comstock, Editor-in-Chief at pharmaphorum. I'm here at Bio 2025 in Boston. It's day 3, and I'm joined by Kyle Touchstone, the Director of Economic Development, Raleigh, and Laura Rowley, the Vice President of Life Sciences Economic Development for NCBiotech. Thanks for joining me, both of you.
Thank you, Jonah.
We're here to talk a little bit about what's going on in the biotech in North Carolina. So thanks for chatting with me. Why don't I let Kyle, you start, tell me a little bit about what you guys are doing here at the show.
Thank you, Jonah. It's a pleasure to talk with you today. So I represent the city of Raleigh for economic development, and we sit at the heart of the Research Triangle region in North Carolina. And as we continue seeing just rapid growth in life sciences, we are here in full force from all across the state, talking about what we have as far as the biomanufacturing ecosystem, from our talent pool to the innovations to all of the recent announcements that we've had within our region and state, but also other opportunities for companies to come and join us.
And Laura, tell me a little bit about NCBio and how you fit into that ecosystem.
Happy to. Thank you so much. NCBiotech is a 40-year-old nonprofit funded by the state of North Carolina to support our life sciences ecosystem from mountains to coast. We're headquartered in RTP and have the pleasure of supporting our ecosystem that includes over 840 companies and directly employs 75,000.
So let me cut to the heart of the matter. Why should biotech and life sciences companies be looking at Raleigh, Durham, and North Carolina?
Well, I'll jump in first. I think the question is, why shouldn't they look at Raleigh, the Research Triangle region in North Carolina? We have a phenomenal pipeline of talent in North Carolina, especially in the Research Triangle region, coming out of North Carolina State University, University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, and Duke University, which make up the 3 points of the triangle. But also this rich history of innovation that is because of those universities. And I think that, you know, for the past 40 years, we've really had a very concentrated effort that's primarily been because of this collaboration throughout our region and state, and many partners who are driving the ecosystem, like the North Carolina Biotech Center.
I couldn't agree more with everything that Kyle said. I think adding on to that, when you think about North Carolina, it is about our talent, our workforce, and it's also about the collaboration and partnership that exists within the greater Raleigh region and really across the state. You're going to find a full continuum of everything that you need, from fresh talent with maybe high school and a certificate that's job ready, through someone that's educated at one of our 5R1 research universities, including NC State and UNC in the Triangle region.
So we're into day 3 of the conference. What are some of the trends you guys are hearing about, some of the most interesting things you've seen and heard so far?
Sure. I think it's been really informative to hear about, and I think positive for us, the perspective of more manufacturing in the U.S., which of course we are hopeful means more manufacturing for life sciences in North Carolina. That's one of our areas of expertise, and certainly an area where we've invested a lot of time in infrastructure, not just recently, but over the last several decades, to again ensure that we're able to meet the talent needs of life sciences companies, whether they're manufacturing small molecules through monoclonal antibodies, vaccines, cell and gene therapies. So that is certainly a trend and one that we are looking forward to further exploring.
I think from my perspective, what we're seeing and hearing as well is that we're not a low cost option, but we're a lower cost option compared to other locations that are primed for life sciences and biomanufacturing. We've seen this trend over several decades of North Carolina being this very rural state, very agricultural focused, textile focused, and this shift to where we have the land and the infrastructure to support biomanufacturing. So you've seen just this rapid trajectory of life science manufacturing happening in our region. And I don't think that's going to slow down, especially with some of the things that we're seeing globally and here in the United States. I also think that we're well positioned as far as our proximity to other centers like such here in Boston and Cambridge.
Let's talk a little bit about domestic manufacturing in pharmaceuticals, because that obviously is a huge topic right now, clearly a huge priority of this administration. Why is it important that we start making more of our drugs here in the US? And in particular, sort of making sure we talk both about generics and about non-generics.
Great questions. I think that what I would clarify is that it's not about starting. This is something that has been happening in communities like North Carolina for decades. Companies like Novo Nordisk have called North Carolina home for over 30 years. So manufacturing in the US is not new. In the last 18 months alone, we've had about $11 billion of life science investment in North Carolina. The vast majority of that has been in manufacturing. So prior to the current administration, these are trends that were already occurring, certainly in North Carolina, if not the broader US. In terms of why it matters, it's around access to patients and patient care in one regard. So whenever you're looking to access the US market, having some facilities, whether it is your drug substance, your drug product for a biologic, it matters. It helps with speed to market. And the US continues to be one of the largest markets for pharmaceuticals globally. So I would say that those are consistent, even though some of the recent trends in what's being said outward.
Yeah, I mean, Novo Nordisk in particular is obviously working really hard to meet demands for its blockbusters around obesity. So more manufacturing, and I suppose domestic manufacturing, because we're the leading market for those drugs, right?
Absolutely. And that's something, again, where Novo Nordisk is a company that has been manufacturing products to support individuals with diabetes and other diseases for over 30 years. But we're now home to Eli Lilly with 2 sites in North Carolina, one in the Research Triangle Park. And as of last month, Genentech announced that it too would be adding manufacturing capabilities in North Carolina to support the increased demand for these types of products.
North Carolina and that area was hit by a pretty big hurricane, pretty kind of unusual in how far it came in. How has that affected sort of the manufacturing, the life sciences? How has the region and the state come back from some of those challenges?
Certainly, the devastation in Western North Carolina is undeniable and something that our communities are still recovering from. For the life sciences, Baxter in Marion was one of the larger life sciences companies that was impacted, and the ability and the dedication that they had to have their site come back online to continue to supply their products to the patients that it needed, and the support that they provided for their employees through all of the devastation, I think was really remarkable. It impacts our state budget because right now there does need to be additional emphasis and funding going towards supporting our friends and neighbors in the western part of the state. And I think overall you're seeing the community that some sort of southern hospitality that North Carolina can be known for coming to bear through our hard times as much as they do in our good.
I'll just add from an economic development perspective, the great thing in North Carolina is that we all work really well together, and having partner organizations like the North Carolina Biotechnology Center, they are working across the state to address all of these needs. But it's everyone has chipped in, rolled up their sleeves to try and help Western North Carolina rebuild and come back to its to where it was prior. It is devastating what occurred, but we have amazing community college system that is training workforce across, and it's at all of our community colleges that they're able to train workers, they're able to get people back into jobs, and our customized workforce training dollars, it's unique in North Carolina, and we're probably one of the better states to utilize those dollars to train people. Just means that we can get people into quality jobs, especially in life sciences, at a much faster rate and at really nice wages. So.
There have been a couple governors speaking at the event today, and I've heard from both Maura Healey in Massachusetts and Josh Shapiro in Pennsylvania. One of the things they both talked about was having these great academic research centers in their state and having these places where these biotech and life sciences minds are being trained. Maybe the patents are coming out of those universities, but then how do you keep them there instead of having those people pack up, take their ideas to Boston or to California? So what's the thinking in North Carolina about how to make sure that you continue to sort of leverage all the benefits of the great academic institutions you have?
I think that what North Carolina brings to bear is the breadth and depth of the opportunities that we have. So for individuals that are trained at a PhD level or beyond, there, of course, are the careers within our universities. We have the NIHS and EPA facilities that are in hand. And then there are 840 companies that span from rolling your sleeves up and being a founder of a new company coming out of IP from your postdoc to being part of a large multinational. It's both in clinical research, through manufacturing, ag tech, in addition to human health. And so again, I think there's the diversity that's really helped us as there have been kind of the pendulum swings to allow for individuals to stay in North Carolina and continue their careers. And I would say, as a scientist that was trained in North Carolina, I'm over a decade in a professional career, and I'm grateful to see so many of my fellow alumni from my time at Carolina also still in North Carolina and thriving.
Well, I think we're probably about at time, so I just want to thank you both so much for helping me and our viewers learn so much about what's going on in North Carolina, and maybe just some final thoughts.
Well, Jonah, I appreciate, again, the opportunity to speak with you. And, in North Carolina, and especially in Raleigh, which is the capital city, we are, looking at our economic times and planning, ahead. There's quite a bit of uncertainty, and there's a lot of talk about that these days. But one great thing in our region is, while this is very life science focused here today, we are one of those locations where we have multiple industry sectors that are supporting the entire ecosystem. And so it's this cross function of tech and advanced manufacturing and bio manufacturing and life sciences that really make us stand out and make it a great place to be. And we've weathered other uncertain economic times, but we'll continue moving forward and look forward to welcoming more companies to Raleigh.
I would say that while we've had the fortune to welcome many new life sciences companies in the recent years, that because of the efforts that have gone in over the last several decades, that we have the infrastructure and the team to continue to welcome additional companies to our community, and we very much look forward to doing so.
Excellent. Thank you both so much, and have a great rest of the show.